Hey guys, welcome to Beautiful You. Thank you so much for being here. I want to talk to you tonight about one more of my favorite quotes, and that is, you can be the juiciest, ripest peach in the world, and there will always be somebody who doesn't like peaches. The reason why I love this quote is because I am a recovering people pleaser. I've been a people pleaser all of my life. It is a learned defense mechanism I developed as a child because we all learn defense mechanisms as children, and it's just the one that I guess suited my personality, and so I developed it not even realizing what I was doing. People pleasing is very detrimental because you basically spend all of your time doing what you think others want of you, which allows you to become a doormat for others, and it makes you think that you're gaining friendships, but number one, it's probably not the right kind of friends, because anybody that would use you like that is not somebody who is your friend, and you're not pleasing yourself. And so in the end, when you're a people pleaser, you don't please yourself. You'll never do enough to be able to please others when you're doing it for those reasons. And so you end up pleasing no one. And what is there to get out of that? Nothing, other than it leaves you feeling like crap about yourself, because you've tried to gain relationships that aren't worth gaining and that are for the wrong reasons. Relationships have to be reciprocally based. The best ones, the most healthy ones, the ones that are good for you and the other person in the relationship, are based on giving and taking. And when you are a people pleaser, you do most, if not all, of the giving, and the other person on the other end of the relationship does most, if not all, of the taking. And people who are people pleasers are attracted to people who use people pleasers. We're automatically magnetized towards each other because one has what the other wants, and vice versa. And as a people pleaser, it satisfies our inner need for, oftentimes we're looking for loving, belongingness. We are looking to belong, we are looking to be loved. And so we do feel these things in the short term when we do these things for people because they're very happy with us at the time. But it doesn't last long. And before we know it, we're having to do something else for the person to maintain that same feeling. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and that is that I've dated a lot of guys in my life for all the wrong reasons. I used to think that I was such an unattractive, and not just physically, yes, physically, but also on the inside. I had so little to offer that if any guy liked me, I better keep him, because no one else was ever going to like me again. This was probably the last guy in the world that was ever going to like me. And so based on that belief set, I dated guys that I didn't even really like that much a lot of times. And I remember one time my friend told me, asked me if I liked that type of guy and why didn't I break up with him. And I literally said to her, I said, I don't want to hurt him. I don't know what it would do to him if I broke up with him, and I would rather sacrifice my own happiness in order to not have to hurt him. First of all, that's about as backwards as it can ever be, because you can't make anybody happy if you're not also happy to be in the relationship. They're not going to be happy. They may be happy in the short term, but it's never going to last, number one. Number two, I realized looking back that was pretty arrogant of me to think that I'm such an incredible catch that someone can't even deal with me walking away. And it would just never work out. If you're not happy with somebody, you're not going to stick around. You're going to become resentful, and that's going to be even worse for them. So it's much better to go ahead and let them go. Let them go. Let them be hurt for a little while, and hopefully they'll learn from it. But even if they don't, it's not anything you can do about it. You have to learn on your own. You need to be strong enough, and it's really not fair of you to steal someone's time like that. Keeping someone in a relationship with you because you feel too wimpy to let them go, which was how I felt. I didn't want to deal with facing that. And I really thought I was helping them, but I was not. But if you feel that way about somebody and you don't want to be with them, let them go. It's really not fair of you to hold them up in a relationship where they can't move on and go find somebody else when you know you don't want to be with them. People pleasing, when you do finally realize that you don't want to be a people pleaser anymore, and you want to have relationships with others that are equally yoked relationships, where you have something to offer and they have something to offer and you both benefit from each other. Those are the best kinds of relationships to have. And when you strive to have those relationships, you will find the most meaning in the relationships. So, and the people you're with will appreciate you for it and will respect you. And even more importantly, you will respect yourself so much more. I don't think that people realize it. When people are people pleasers, we don't realize how little respect we have for ourselves. We think we're doing the right thing, even for others. We think we're being so nice, but we are in all actuality, we don't have any respect for ourselves whatsoever. People pleasing is a very toxic behavior to you and to those around you. And it's also it's a comfort zone. You stay in a people-pleasing relationship because you're comfortable doing it. You've probably been doing it for a long time. And it's scary to think about not pleasing people anymore. The first thing you think is, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have any friends. Nobody's going to like me. The friends that I do have are going to want to walk away from me because I'm not going to be. And you're right, they very well might. I've lost people in my life that I love, even people in my family, because I didn't want to be a people pleaser anymore, and that's what they were used to me being. And so moving out of being a people pleaser did cost me some relationships, but on the other hand, it gave me so much more. It gave me my own self-respect, and that is worth so much. You talk about self-esteem. Usually people who are people pleasers don't have very high self-esteem. So when you gain self-respect, it boosts your self-esteem tremendously. So I want to encourage you today to evaluate your relationships. Think about, what did they give you? Are you being a people pleaser? Are you doing things you don't really want to do because you're too afraid to say no? Saying no is very liberating. And that's what I think is one of the best things to do, is start off saying no. You can always go back later and say, hey, you know what? I can help you this weekend do X, Y, or Z. After all, I didn't think I could because my schedule was full, but as it turns out, I can. If you think you really want to do that, and it's okay to do things for people that you really don't want to do, as long as they do it for you as well. If you don't really want to help somebody move, but they have already helped you or have offered to help you do some terrible chore that nobody wants to help you with, but they've offered to or have helped you, sure, return the favor. And it doesn't have to always be a returning of the favor, but just make sure that the relationship is equally yoked. You could ask this person for help and they would help you if they could, you know? Those are people that you do things for, not just somebody that's constantly using you. So evaluate your relationships and think about whether or not you're being used in the relationships. And if you are being used, then maybe take a step back. Start saying no. And it's little by little. If you can even at least recognize that you're being used, even if you don't say no yet, you don't have the courage to say no yet, that's okay. At least recognize it and start thinking about a plan. Awareness is half the battle, for real. Thank you so much for listening to my videos. Please share if you feel that someone else could benefit. I'm trying to keep them short, but this one is almost 15 minutes long. I apologize. You guys are welcome to leave in the comments whether or not you like them longer, shorter. You can email the miracle of beautiful you at gmail.com, or you can just leave a comment in the video. Let me know, hey, shut up, Rachel, you talk too much. Or that was really interesting. Can you elaborate more? Let me know what y'all want. I love constructive criticism, and I'm here to help you. So let me know how I can do that, please. But start by saying no and evaluate your relationships. Are you a people pleaser? If you are, figure out how not to be, because you'll never please anybody. You won't please them, and you won't please yourself, and you'll be miserable, and you'll be tired. So thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, beautiful you.